Welcome to episode 108 of Paper Brief, where we dive into the latest in tech and ML research. I'm Charlie, and joining us today is Cleo, whose expertise in machine learning will help us unpack today's topic. We're looking at ReconFusion, 3D reconstruction with diffusion priors. It's a new paper that's stirring quite a buzz. To kick things off, Cleo, could you give us a rundown of what ReconFusion is all about?
Of course, happy to be here. ReconFusion is a method that dramatically improves 3D reconstructions from a limited number of photos. Traditionally, something like neural radiance fields, or NeRF, requires many images to create a good 3D model. ReconFusion streamlines this by using a diffusion model trained to synthesize views that regularizes the reconstruction pipeline, making it both more robust and efficient.
That sounds like a big step forward for 3D modeling. Can you tell us a bit more about diffusion models and how they fit into this new strategy?
Diffusion models are a type of generative model that have gained traction for their ability to produce high-quality images. In the context of ReconFusion, this sort of model is trained to predict how unseen parts of a scene may look from novel viewpoints. This helps fill in the blanks in those under-constrained areas you typically have with fewer images.
Interesting. It's like it's making educated guesses on what the unseen parts are like. But how well does it really work, especially with very few reference images?
The results are surprisingly good. Even with as few as 3 to 9 images, ReconFusion can create robust 3D structures where traditional methods would struggle. It's even shown to reduce common artifacts and improve quality in scenarios with more observations. Yeah, and a nice handy aspect is that this can be a drop-in regularizer for existing NeRF pipelines. It has made significant improvements across a variety of datasets for both forward-facing and 360-degree scene captures.
This has the potential to save a lot of time and effort in the capture process. So where can our listeners see these improvements?
You can actually view some pretty impressive side-by-side comparisons on their project page. Just go to reconfusion.github.io to see it in action.
That's great. It's always valuable to view the results firsthand. And Cleo, before we wrap up, can you speculate on what kind of impact ReconFusion might have on the future of 3D reconstruction?
ReconFusion could be a game changer, especially for democratizing 3D capture technology. Since it requires far fewer images, it makes the process more accessible to people who don't have the means for a laborious capture process. Overall, it simplifies creating high-fidelity 3D models, which has implications for numerous fields, from VR to preservation of historical sites.
Fascinating stuff. That's all we have time for in this episode. Thanks, Cleo, for sharing your insights on ReconFusion with us.
My pleasure, Charlie. Thanks for having me. For those listening, delve into those papers and stay curious.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning in to Paper Brief. Don't forget to check out our previous episodes for more deep dives into cutting-edge research. Until next time, keep exploring.